The data analysis space is that space that you can actually get into, solve problems, provide solutions to problem, and you earn money. In fact, this field was tagged the sexiest field in the year 2023/2024. So this is one of the top fields to be right now in the tech space and in the data space in general. So a whole lot of people are trying to get into this field. We have a large influx of people trying to find their way around the data analysis space and all of those stuff. So as we have much of this influx of people trying to get to know the field and trying to find a way to become a data analyst, we also have a whole lot of misconceptions, and I can also tag them as misinformation. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the misconceptions and misinformations that we have in the data space. Now, to be honest with you, most pro and those in the intermediate level cannot really feel the brunt of this misconception because they know their way around the field. So most times, or practically all the times, it is the beginners that feels the brunt because it gets them confused, it gets them overwhelmed, and they be like, is this field even worth the old stress? But in the long run, it does worth it. And to be honest, when you are in such situation, you will actually feel that way. This is a video on the misconception in the data analysis space. I would be starting with the most popular misconception, and that is the misconception of you need to learn a whole lot of tools to be tagged as a data analyst. Now, one thing I want beginners to know is that data analysis is more of the skills than the tools. In fact, we have the skills, we have the tools. By the skills, I mean your critical thinking skills, your communication skills, your storytelling skills, your math and stat skills. These are the skills, okay? And by the tools, I'm talking about Excel, Power BI, Python, R, Tableau, SQL, and all of those stuff. Data analysis is more of how you can use your tools to complement your skills. Now, I'll give you a scenario. A photographer is not defined by how he knows how to use the camera, but it's all about how he can have an art in his mind, a very fine picture in his head, and how he can use the camera to actually bring out this beautiful picture that he has in his head. So the tools right here are actually the means to the ends rather, and not the end itself. So what makes a photographer a good photographer is not the camera, but it is the fact that he knows how to think artistically, and he now knows how to use the camera as a tool to assist him to bring in the perfect picture he has in his head. The same thing applies to you as a data analyst. Okay, I'm giving you a data set and I want you to solve a problem for me. The essence is I give you data, you prescribe solution. How you went about, working on the data set to get the solution to me as a stakeholder, as the boss, I don't care. Mine is just prescribe a solution to me. So whether you use Python, you use R, you use SQL, you use Tableau or Excel, I don't care. Mine is just, as the boss, gets me a solution. So once I give you the data set and you call yourself a data analyst, you should know how to think and approach the problem, and then you will have a rough sketch of the problem in your head. Okay, somebody is giving me a business data. A business has just, at least to this basic level, just one goal: to maximize profit. So if the aim of the business is to maximize profit, and I can see stuffs like sales and profit and some variables, I will have to find a way to maneuver around, you can do this to increase your profit, you can do this to reduce your cost, and all of those stuff. So you must obviously have a rough sketch of a solution in your head on how you want to approach the problem. Then you will now have to use the tools Excel, Power BI, Tableau to bring that solution to life. The data is dirty. Okay, let me clean the data first. I'm going to be using Excel to clean the data first. I will use SQL, I will use Python, I will use R. So I've cleaned my data set. What's the next thing? It's time to analyze the data. I pay attention to this variable, I pay attention to that variable. Take this variable, try to get the average, try to get the mean, try to get the total there. You have a solution in your head and you're working towards it, and then you're like, okay, what, I want to tell my boss a story about his data sets. And this is where your storytelling comes in, and data visualization. You see, it all starts in your head, and you're able to like move down to prescribing a solution. So it's not about the tools. You understand? You don't need to learn all of the tools. In fact, as a beginner, I would advise you focus on learning 3 tools. The first one is a data visualization tool, which can either be between the Power BI or Tableau. You should learn a querying language tool rather, so which is obviously SQL, and then you should learn a general data analysis tool, which is obviously Excel. Now if you learn these 3, that is Excel, SQL and Power BI, start with Excel of course, and then you can learn any other tool first. Once you learn these 3 tools and you work on yourself, you get better, okay? And then in the long run, as time goes on, you can decide to learn either R or Python or SPSS or Stata, anything. But Excel, SQL, Power BI or Tableau will set the right foundation for you. Now the second misconception about data analysis is that you don't need statistics. Now when I hear people talk about the fact that, oh my gosh, you don't need statistics to become a data analyst, I laugh, because if you try to define data analysis and you try to define statistics, you will see that definition of these two terms are actually quite similar. Yes, I get the fact that people are always scared whenever they hear that there is mathematics or there is statistics in data analysis. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't think there is mathematics, because the mathematics you need for data analysis is just basic algebra, like basic arithmetic, how to add, how to subtract, literally nothing. Now the statistics that you even need for data analysis is the statistics that can help you visualize data, the statistics that can help you make conclusions from data. In fact, I have a video on how much statistics that you need to learn as a data analyst. You can actually check that video. I'll be linking it right here. Just check it out after watching this video. So as a data analyst, you don't need much statistics. As a data analyst, all you need is the basic descriptive statistics. I mean, know the measure of central tendency, mean, median, mode, and know the measure of dispersion, and then you also know how to visualize data and know the interpretation of the mean, median, mode, and all of those stuff. Once you know this and you understand it to the depth, then I think you've known the statistics that you need for data analysis. Can it get better? Obviously yes. You can decide to take your skill up and start learning some advanced or intermediate statistical principles and techniques, okay? But at the surface level, at the beginner's level, your basic statistics is needed, and then you can also learn the basis of inferential statistics, that is the statistics that makes you make conclusion from data set. As a data analyst, to be honest, you don't even need regression models, okay? You can add it to your skill, okay? Like, I'm a data analyst, I know how to build a predictive model. It's a plus for you, but it is not a must. So in the long run, the statistics that you need as a data analyst is not as huge and as much as people make it seem. In fact, it's like one of the simplest statistics you ever meet as a student learning data analysis. Now the third misconception about data analysis still boils back to something related to the first, and that is the fact that you need to learn a lot of tools before you can get a job as a data analyst. Now I laugh at this misconception because I've seen people work as a data analyst and all through their life they've only used Microsoft Excel. Like literally Excel is the only tool that they know how to use, and they are earning some money, like very good money for themselves. Yeah, it's possible. In fact, you don't need to learn all of those tools, every one of them, to actually become a data analyst. A good knowledge of Excel will go a long way. In fact, Excel is an underrated tool. Excel can do a whole lot of things. Excel is that bro that is so versatile. Excel is that football player that can play a lot of positions. It can be a defender today, it can be a midfielder tomorrow, it can be a striker in the next tomorrow, it can be a goalkeeper. Excel is that tool. Excel can do almost anything. So having a good knowledge of Excel itself is it's enough to make you a data analyst, because like I said, the job of a data analyst is to solve problems, and if you can use Excel to solve data problems, then you are as well being called a data analyst. So once you've mastered one tool and you think you are good enough to use that tool to solve problem, please go on. You are actually a data analyst and you can apply for jobs. The reason why most people learn more than 2 tools or 3 tools is because the job description most times usually wants you to learn 2 or 3 tools. And when you now get into this job, and to be honest with you, you don't really use more than 2. You don't use more than Excel most times, and maybe Power BI. So most times the people that give these job descriptions, they really don't know much about data analysis, and they end up just probably going to ChatGPT or the internet and just list, oh, what are the tools a data analyst needs to know how to use, and you now see a wide range of tools. They just pack it in there. So if you go to probably LinkedIn and you are seeing a job description that is telling you to know how to use Excel, Power BI, SQL, you can still apply if it is only Excel, or if it's only Power BI, or if it's only Excel, SQL, rather, you can still apply, and you'll be surprised that when you prove to the people that are interviewing you that you can actually do more with Excel, they'll be shocked. So in the long run, you may end up not using more than 2 tools. Most times, SQL and Power BI, or SQL and Excel. I say SQL because SQL is quite a different tool sort of entirely, because SQL is used for querying relational databases, and this is something that Excel can't really do like that, and the same thing applies to Power BI. So SQL is like in a league of its own, so you have to like learn SQL as a data analyst. But Power BI and Excel, they are kind of similar. They have some things that brings them together. So in fact, as a data analyst, you are even advised to learn either SQL and Excel or SQL and Power BI. In fact, I just advise you to learn the 3, like I said earlier on. So you don't need to learn all the 3 tools or all the 4 tools or the 5 tools to actually get a job or to start applying for a job. Once you've started with Excel and you master Excel, trust me, you are good to go. You are good to start applying for those jobs. And the main point, like I said, is as far as you know how to solve business problem with your Excel, you are a data analyst. The 4th misconception is the fact that you have to pay for expensive boot camps before you can, be tagged as a data analyst. Now, if you have the money, please pay. Okay, some boot camps are expensive and they are worth it, and you get these certifications. If you have the money, you can do that. But you can also become a data analyst by watching YouTube videos, by working on a whole lot of projects. Okay, like data analysis is not a field that requires you to have a BSc. It doesn't mean you should go to university and get a huge certificate. They are more of what you can deliver than what school did you attend, what certificates did you have with you. In fact, I've seen people get data analysis jobs and be actual data analysts by watching videos on YouTube from the likes of Alex. We have this Indian guy, what was his name? I've forgotten his name. I will type his name probably if I'm editing this. People are watching videos on YouTube. People are getting information from Twitter, and they work on projects and they become data analysts. Yeah, so you don't have to like pay huge amounts of money to learn data analysis. Okay, you don't need to. People learn it for free. If you go to Alex the data analysis, his YouTube page, he actually has this bootcamp that he released a lot of information, a lot of materials, and it's all free. He's trying to let people know that you can learn data analysis without paying even just a single dime, as far as you are ready to learn, and you can learn and you can devote time to learn. Then I can tell you, you can become a data analyst. So you don't need to pay that thousands of dollars on boot camps to get data, to become a data analyst, rather, to get that data analysis certificate. But if you have the money and you feel like that's what you need, and you are also sure that the boot camp you are trying to pay for is a good one, then please go for it. Now, the next misconception, and this one was the one that came out around last year, I think last year or 2 years ago, and on Twitter you start seeing tweets like AI has killed data analysis. As a data analyst, AI is going to take your job. Now you don't need to know how to use Excel again. Just by using this AI, you can be able to do all the job of a data analyst. That is the wrongest thing I've ever heard in my life. AI can never take your job as a data analyst. Remember, AI is just a tool, and as far as it is a tool, and human interaction, human intelligence, human emotions must still be needed as a data analyst. So don't get me wrong, in as much as AI can do a whole lot of things, don't let us lie to ourselves. Like you've seen what Microsoft is trying to do with Copilot and Microsoft Fabric and all of those stuff. They're trying to bring in AI to assist you as a data analyst. So see AI as that friend, see AI as that pal that is ready to like help you become a very good data analyst. You understand? AI can never replace you. AI will never replace you. Sometimes AI can be dumb. It's a model. Try asking ChatGPT some question and you see how it will churn out some very generic and dumb answers, and you'll be like, so this is the AI that wants to take my job as a data analyst? Really? Is that what you guys are thinking? Nah, hell nah. AI can never take your job, but AI can actually assist you to become a very good data analyst, and that is something you should work on. Try to know how to use the latest AI tools that can make you better in the world of data analysis. Now, the next misconception about data analysis is the one that people used to say you can learn data analysis within a short period of time. I have issues with people that make the sentence, come and learn data analysis in 1 month, in 2 months, and get a job in your 3rd month. Learn Python in 10 days, learn R in 5 days, learn Excel in 1 week. I don't like sentences like that. Yes, I understand the fact that you're trying to pursue a goal and you want to like quickly get things done, but data analysis field, in fact the tech field in general, is how will I say this in English? It's a field that you have to keep learning. I will be okay with them if they say you can learn the basics of data analysis within 6 months, 5 months. That is fine. Obviously, you learn the basics of Excel, learn the basics of Power BI, and learn how to like solve problem with that. It's okay, it's fine. But you keep learning every day in the data analysis space. And as a beginner that wants to learn and become a very good data analyst, I don't advise you to put a time frame to your learning. Now you may be thinking, if I put a time frame, I will know when to start and when to stop and when I should be done. Yeah, it's a good one, but when you put a time frame to learning data analysis, okay, and let's assume you give yourself, I want to learn data analysis and get a job in 6 months, and by the 5th month you are still struggling with Excel, or you are still struggling with Power BI, and you still don't have a grip. Now you feel useless, you feel like you've not done anything, you feel like you don't do anything, because you give yourself the time target of, I should be done in 6 months, and in the 5th month you've not even completed 10% of the whole process. So that is what time does to you. It gives you this unnecessary pressure that can derail you. So what I would advise you to do is to give yourself, number one, a realistic time. Okay, so I want to learn the basics of Excel in the next 3 months. That is enough time to learn the basics of Excel. I've learned Excel, now I want to learn how to use the basics of Excel to solve data problem in less than 3 months. That is a very realistic goal. But say you want to learn the whole of data analytics as a whole in 6 months, in 5 months, it's not realistic. Data analysis is a continuous learning field. You have to learn from it every time. I'm a data analyst, and whenever I get data, each time I get new data to work on, I learn from it every day. Another misconception is the fact that people say there's a particular way to start data analysis, the roadmap. Okay, start this way, start that way. I'm of the school of thought that roadmap in data analysis is subjective, in the sense that you can start anyway and you can be a data analyst in the fastest way possible. Now, somebody that has a degree in computer science, computer engineering, or has a background in anything that has to do with coding and and computer would obviously start learning data analysis with Python first. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. Such person will go further if they use that route. Someone like me that has a math background, a statistics background, started learning data analysis with SPSS, Excel, and Stata. Then I moved to R. Then after R, I moved to Python. Then from Python, Power BI and SQL. So your background, your personality is going to define how you start your data analysis journey. It's going to define your roadmap. Obviously, we have this, in quotes, generic roadmap that people use, which I kind of agree too. Obviously, like I said, it's subjective, meaning we have a lot of ways to start, but there's this widely accepted roadmap that people try to like let you use, and it's assumed to be easier. Start with Excel first, then after starting with Excel, you know, move next to SQL, then you move to Power BI, then after Power BI, then you learn either R or Python, and you know, that's it. Now this is a generic roadmap, and it's just like the roadmap that should work for an average person, but the honest truth is that you don't have to follow this roadmap. Okay, if you feel like you have a maths background like me and you want to start with SPSS, please start with SPSS, start with data, start with R. It's fine. If you feel like you're a coder and you like coding, start with Python. If you feel like you want to start with Excel and that is what you resonated with, start with it. So in simple terms, start with what makes life easy for you as a beginner trying to learn data analysis. It's as simple as that. Okay, there is nothing more than that. So I think I've been able to give you like 6 misconceptions and dilute them, if I can use that word in quotes. So if you want more of this episode like this, like where I talk about the misconception in the data analysis space, please go down to the comment section and drop and let me know if I should continue this series. You know, I will try working on more misconceptions that we have in the data space. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Do you feel I missed something or you have some questions for me? Please go down to the comment section and drop your questions. I will also be linking my Twitter handle. I'm very active over there. You can talk to me, you can tweet at me. I respond the best way I can. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.